Hey everybody, John here from No Joke NHL, here with a daily hockey report. This is Tuesday, January 22nd, fourth day of the season, so we've been able to see at least all the teams in action, at least one game. A couple teams have played twice. A couple teams are going to get ready to play the third game tonight in the first 4 days, so definitely all systems go with hockey, and we've got off to a great start. Had an unbelievable opening day. 6-1 on opening day for over 10 units of profit. No way in the world can I possibly keep that up daily. Otherwise, I would have been living in Las Vegas and on television a long time ago. So, reality will set in eventually. There will be nights where we have all one-goal games, which would be awful for people that lay the puck line like myself. So, try to keep things realistic here. This is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. And I like to pick up large chunks, like that, and then trickle backwards, only one play at a time. So, even though we had successful so far, overall 9-4 plus 13 units, I'm not increasing my bet size at all or anything like that at this point. Like I said, we're in it for the long haul, off to a great start. Obviously want to keep that winning percentage as high as possible because it's all profit, but nonetheless, keeping it real. So, moving on to tonight's card, we have some teams that are in some bad spots. Those teams are the Winnipeg Jets visiting the Washington Capitals. 0-10 last year in this spot in a back-to-back. We're getting a Capitals team that are actually a little bit overpriced, and now there's some money coming in on Winnipeg. I'm not sure money on Winnipeg is the answer. This game is going to be a pass for me. The Washington Capitals very, very unpredictable, and until they start showing me on a regular basis that they're going to win games that they should. I got burned, the times that I played them last year. Even though I live about 30 miles from D.C., I'm not really a homer to any team at all, even the Ravens in the Super Bowl. So I tend to just be completely, objective about the sports. And so the Capitals definitely will let you down. They seem like an offensive team that's going to dominate or score a lot of goals, and then they just seem to, play that lax D or whatever. Braden Holtby, mere mortal in the first game, hopefully playing at home changes things for them, but they're a little overpriced for me today. And like I said, Winnipeg in too tough of a spot to get any of my money, so I'm going to pass there. The Tampa Bay Lightning going to the Carolina Hurricanes. A lot of buzz with the Hurricanes. They've gone up in price because of that buzz. They were over 2-1 on the puck line. I looked at it briefly, did not play. Again, do I think they're going to be as bad as they looked against Florida? No way. I mean, Cam Ward gives up 4 goals in the first period. Really hard to get a feel for what's going to happen. They did come back and stifle Florida for the rest of the game. Only gave up 1 more goal to them and scored 1 themselves. But like I said, the 4-goal deficit after 1 was certainly enough to cause the loss there. So what Carolina team are we going to get? Nobody knows, and so that's why I can't say for sure that they're a good play tonight, although Tampa is in a back-to-back spot as well and going with the backup Garan. Moving on to Florida and Montreal, and again we have a team in a bad spot. That would be the Florida Panthers on a back-to-back. They don't do too well in that spot, or at least they didn't last year. But again, we have a Canadiens team that we're not really sure what we're going to get, and so the price definitely a little high on them, in the neighborhood of like plus 145, 150. Sorry, a little too rich for my blood. I'm going to probably pass on that as well. As I tweeted out earlier, I am on the Flyers here. I definitely think the Flyers are the better squad here. New Jersey, some people are still touting New Jersey a little bit. I'm not really with them. I think they're old. They lost some key players. So they're going to be a little more defensive style, but I think the Flyers' offense has a lot to bring here. And so I'm definitely backing the Flyers here. Bought them on the money line yesterday when it was even, and then bought them on the puck line when 5 Dimes released their line this morning at plus 260. So those are the 2 plays that I'm on. A lot of people ask, should I back both of them? To be honest with you, I would say no. I'd pick one that fits your comfort level. Like I said, I just kind of bought them at that price, knowing that it was probably going to come the other way. It did. It made them a pick 'em minus 110. So I try to take advantage of those things if I can. But basically, it's your comfort level. A lot of people aren't comfortable with laying the 1.5 goals, to get the 2-goal or more victory. To me, that risk is one of the best bets in all of sports betting. And so if I usually handicap the game, especially as a small favorite or small underdog, I handicap it in a way that I see them actually winning the game, in a convincing fashion. And so that's why I back them on the puck line a lot. But like I said, some books don't offer that. Some books don't offer the 1.5, -1.5 both ways. So again, if you're dealing with that kind of book, I would highly recommend getting to a book that had those options, because I'm telling you, anything that's left off the table is just an opportunity that you can't make a profit on. Like I said, a lot of if hockey were just a straight money line and a over/under total for the whole game, it would be unbettable. So those options and choices are certainly good to have. If you're going with a local guy, actually local guys here in Baltimore, I had to go through like 5 to even find one to take hockey, and it's just not even worth it. I don't even bother anymore. I just deal with the offshore and hope New Jersey can beat the feds and get some legalized betting up there. But I digress. So I'm on Philadelphia there, and looking for a great effort from them. Dallas Stars at the Detroit Red Wings. Money has been coming in on Dallas here. They were plus 145, plus 147 yesterday evening before before the games were played last night, and steady money is coming in on Dallas. I can understand why you're going against Detroit. They've looked pretty bad, even though they won in a shootout last night. Their defense is really banged up. They really can't stop many people. And so, the thing is Dallas really, this high-flying offense that's going to come in and take advantage? I'm not really so sure that it is. And the Red Wings, the one thing about the Red Wings, even last year when they were starting to decline, even with those key players that have retired, is that they were excellent at home. So I wouldn't necessarily throw them under the bus this early. This game is one I'm going to watch, and if they play horrible at home, then by all means they're going to be they're going to definitely drop in the rankings. Not that I have them that high to begin with, but I'm certainly going to put them in a different category at home, because it seemed last night it was or last year, excuse me, it was a big difference between the two. Next game on the board: Nashville Predators, Minnesota Wild. Predators, of course, in a back-to-back spot. Not necessarily a horrible back-to-back team. However, it was a grueling game against the Blues. A lot of action. They went to a shootout, so they played the full gamut of minutes that they could have there. And now they're coming into a Minnesota Wild team that, frankly, really hasn't done anything wrong. Their goaltending has been pretty good. Matter of fact, some might even say outstanding. Harding pitching the shutout, of course, against the Florida Panthers. Maybe not the best of accomplishments, but nonetheless, shutouts are shutouts. The announcement of the backup goalie here for the Predators to Mason has triggered extra money in on Minnesota. To be honest with you, I'm looking at the money that is coming in on the over 5, and I'll tell you what, if this under 4.5 gets north of plus 200, that may be the angle that I'm going to take here in this game. I definitely like under 5, but like I said, at under 5, we're only getting plus 110. So I'm going to see if I can hold out and let the crest of the wave of that over money coming in, thinking that the backup is going to be there. I kind of look for a team really on a back-to-back generally has a low offensive output themselves, and I look for them to be a little more defensive, especially with the backup goaltender in there. If Rene was in here, I would almost say it would be an over just because of the minutes played. But with the backup in here, I'm looking for a low-scoring game, and the Wild certainly fit that mold so far this year. And of course, a good point made by Sammy P on a podcast I was listening to, that Parise is an excellent two-way player and actually adds to the defensive intrigue for the Wild. So certainly something to consider there. Like I said, people jumping on the Wild, can't fault you for that. But I think the play here is the under, and like I said, I'm going to look to try to break the book at over 2-1 on the under 4.5, even though it's a crazy scenario. But I do look for a low-scoring affair here. The last couple games on the board, I'm on the Blackhawks. I kind of slept on this one, discussed it a little bit on Twitter last night, and woke up believing that the Blackhawks here should give a solid effort. I think Corey Crawford is going to be strong here. That was the one thing that had me thinking was, certainly the Blues on the second of a back-to-back should be in the same predicament that the Predators are, and of course last year they were 0-3 in this spot where the Predators were like 3-4. So not a good spot for the Blues, but I kind of think Corey Crawford's going to be strong here. I was a little skeptical about how he would come back kind of a head case a little bit at times. They went with Emery in Game 2. Of course, both of them got the win. Both of them were very good in goal, and so I'm looking for the Hawks to basically keep cruising along. Like I said, Blues in a bad spot. I'm going to take the chance here and take the puck line at a juicy plus 230. The minus 125, pretty square price. Maybe take the Hawks in regulation if you want. I don't see this game being a low-scoring, tight affair. We're going to get Elliott for the Blues, but really no step off between those two based on numbers from last year. So I would not say that Elliott is a knock below Halak at all. Kings and Avalanche. Kings a little nicked up here and getting the obvious money this open to pick them against the Avalanche. Some people are touting the Avs, especially listening to Creature this morning or listening to his tweets. He likes the Avalanche, and I really can't fault him for that. Depending on how the money comes here, public's going to pour in on the Kings. No way the Stanley Cup champion can lose to blah blah blah. One of the best things about betting on sports is the public that brings their money to the table too. So so try to follow that if you get a decent price on the Avalanche. Maybe the Avalanche in regulation, probably not right now at a plus 171. So maybe that's a good angle for them there. And then the Sharks and Oilers. Oilers priced pretty square so far. I think the books are expecting big things from them. I know a lot of people are talking they're expecting big things from them. And to be honest with you, they're priced a little short. They were priced a little short against Vancouver, even though they did cover in the shootout. They probably should have won by more than that, but nonetheless, it was a little tight. And so I'm going to sit and watch. Sharks really did nothing wrong. Of course, that was against the Calgary Flames, which are now 0-2. So again, this is going to be a game that I'm going to sit back and watch. So with that, feel free to ask me any questions. Like I said, I tweeted out my plays. I'll probably post on Dave Tooley's View from Vegas website what the plays are and include a link to this video. Spread the word, No Joke NHL, and we'll be back as soon as we can with the next video report. Until then, let's keep making money.